The Murder Castle, H. Holmes, Chicago, 1893. The city was preparing to show the world its future. Millions of people arrived for the World's Columbian Exposition, filling hotels, streets, and boarding houses with strangers who had no reason to know one another. One man understood exactly how useful that could be. His name was Herman Webster Mudgett. History would remember him as H. Holmes. Holmes was intelligent, charming, and exceptionally deceptive. He studied medicine, changed his name, moved frequently, and built a life around manipulation and fraud. But the darkest part of his story was a building in Chicago that later became known as the Murder Castle. Holmes purchased property near the fairgrounds and constructed a strange three-story building filled with businesses, apartments, and rooms designed around his own plans. Some rooms were difficult to escape, helping create the legends surrounding the building. But separating fact from later sensational stories is important. The famous claims that Holmes installed gas lines to poison dozens of guests, or that hundreds of people died inside the building, were exaggerated by newspapers and retellings. His victim count remains uncertain. What is certain is that Holmes was a serial killer. Among those connected to him were Julia and Pearl Connor, Emmeline Sigrand, and Minnie and Nanny Williams. Holmes used relationships, deception, money, and trust as weapons. He did not need to look like a monster. That may be the most disturbing part. He could smile. He could speak calmly. He could convince people that they were safe. Then, in 1894, Holmes' world began collapsing. His crimes unraveled through an insurance fraud scheme involving Benjamin Pitezel. Pitezel was killed, and Holmes attempted to deceive the people closest to him while covering his tracks. Investigators eventually followed the trail. Holmes was arrested, and once authorities began examining the evidence, the charming doctor became something else entirely. A man facing the consequences of years of calculated deception. He was convicted of Pitezel's murder and sentenced to death. On May 7, 1896, H. Holmes was hanged in Philadelphia. Even at the end, he reportedly remained controlled. Holmes left behind one question that still follows his name. How many people did he actually kill?